country people love you.
Mm.
I know this because they air a lot of your movies on CMT a lot, like Son-in-Law, In the Army Now. You've played in Middle of America many times. Um, how do you think, like, because you're an LA guy, what is it about Pauly Shore that country people love so much?
My small penis, I think.
I don't think it's small. I've seen
Oh,
pictures.
whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know. I think my authenticity of my stand up and my movies kind of cuts through everything and touches people's hearts. I think it started with MTV. It was my first introduction to America, and I think ever since then, we followed it up with all my films and then touring and stuff like that. So I grew up, at the store. I grew up, in LA, and I'm more fascinated with the middle of the country than I am with the cities. So
Yeah, I've seen you invited a bunch of people to the Comedy Store one night to watch Pauly Shore Stands Alone.
yes,
And that was really good. That's you going out in the middle of America, doing shows in places that aren't known for doing comedy necessarily, like the Silver Bullet here in Hickory. You went to a lot of places where it's not a club or a theater, and you got to sort of set it up yourself. And it's also about dealing with your parents getting older and that kind of stuff. And I'm going through the same thing right now. It's the reason why I moved to Hickory, is to take care of my mom and dad. So that movie really touched my heart, and that was great.
yeah, it was. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't have a relationship with my siblings. So I'm pretty much by myself in this world. It's not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It's fine. I mean, you always have to kind of be happy with where you're at. And this is where I'm at, and it's okay. And when I did that documentary, I was living in my mom's house. She was dying of Parkinson's, and it's the old house that I was raised in for 40 years. I kind of moved back in and to kind of be around. So, because I was touring so much. So when I came back on the road, I didn't want to go to an apartment or a house. I wanted to go home to my mom, at least,
Yeah.
when I walk in after, touring, I can come in and give her a kiss and she can feel like I'm in the house. And I thought that was the right thing to do. So I had no one to talk to. So I talked to the camera, and that's why I decided to film that documentary, Stands Alone.
Yeah, it was great. And now with this pandemic, I'm stuck here at home as well. I live with my mother right now. My dad is in a skilled nursing facility. We can't even go see him because of the corona and stuff. But I tell people I can't even tell them I do stand up anymore. I can tell them I'm an elder care Uber driver. That's kind of that's what I've transitioned to. I'm driving mom to the doctor appointments, to eye doctors, to pharmacies, that kind of stuff. So it was. I really enjoyed that documentary. Are you planning on doing more documentaries? I know you got a lot going on. You've got your podcast,
I
guest
have, yeah.
house.
Yeah, I have. I actually have Stands Alone, a 6-part series that's in the can right now. So I'm waiting for the right time to release that. And that
Nice.
is, that's basically because Stands Alone to me was kind of circling the cancer. And the 6-part series is you go in and, and I go in there and,
Yeah.
go in there deeper, and I'll release that at the right time. I know the Comedy Store is coming out with a documentary in October, so we'll see how that does, and maybe I can put it out after that or something. I don't know.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I moved to Los Angeles in 2000. I'm not sure exactly when I met you for the first time was, but your mom, obviously a big influence on a lot of comedians' lives, and was always super, super nice to me. I remember it was, I guess, 2001 when I came in there and became a regular, a paid regular. Worked the door, did all that stuff. And it was always so surreal seeing you come in there because I grew up watching you on MTV and all that stuff. And then here you are. And I just want to say thank you for being a kind person.
Yeah, it's always weird, me being at the store because I'm like, there's a lot of emotions for me there. So, you're Mitzi's son, now she's not there, and I'm there, and I'm on stage, and yet I'm the guy from Encino Man, and you know what I mean? So it's like MTV, and you know what I mean? So it's like, whoa. Yeah. That's why living in Las Vegas, I can go back to basics, which is just me being the guy that America fell in love with many years ago. There's no comedy store here. It's just me and the people. And I kind of needed to get back to that because that's kind of who I am.
Is that part of the one-man show that you're working on, Stick with the Dancing? Are you doing that? Is that going to be in Vegas?
Eventually, when the stage is open, yeah, I definitely am going to be doing it out here.
Okay.
For sure.
Nice. What made you want to dabble into a one-man show?
Because every time I do interviews, they always ask about my mom and the store and MTV and the movies. And I figured, if people keep asking me about it, I'll just do it in a one-man show in an entertainment fun way to kind of put it out there. I was really inspired by Mike Tyson's one-man show, which was called The Undisputed Truth, which Spike Lee directed. And I just thought that, it was just done really classy and endearing and cool. And I like the visuals behind them. So I kind of think that's the direction I want to go with it.
Yeah. I also love how close you are. You used to tour with your dad a lot. And my dad was also a big influence in my life. And a lot of my comedy is about my dad. And so I love that you came to Goodnights, Charlie Goodnights in Raleigh Comedy Club, I think, with your dad. How often did you work with your dad?
He toured and opened for me for about 20 years.
Right. That must have been awesome.
It was weird and great at the same time. It was like, oh God, I got to fucking take my dad out. You know what I mean? So you got that fucking, I got to deal with this guy. But then it's like, oh my God, this is my dad. That's so awesome. And then he's so fucking funny on stage. Yeah. So he would kill on stage. And then people would be like, is that some old guy or is that really his dad? Is Pauly lying to us? I didn't know his dad does stand-up. And then
he's really physical too.
Yeah. I would come out, I'd say, now you guys know I'm so fucked up because of this fucking cocksucker. You know what I mean?
Right? If you want to watch the whole version, the entire episode, click on this little square right here. Or if you just want to subscribe and watch them later, click on that little bubble right there. And thank you.